What's up, Nick Nation? I'm Juby the Tubi. Hope you're doing good. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Listen, the Knicks fell tonight at the Garden to Philadelphia. I thought we might have a chance to come out of this game, but unfortunately, that was not the case. We lose to the Philadelphia 76ers 125 to 109. Tom Thibodeau up to his old ways. RJ Barrett continues to do well, and today was the game that Evan Fournier decided to show up a little bit. Emmanuel quickly finally stepped out of his shooting slump, but Tom Thibodeau up to his old tricks. Love affair with Alex Burks. Much more in a minute with me. I'm Juby the Tubi. You're here with Family Above Everything, and we'll be bringing in Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV. Catch you guys in a second. What's up, Nick Nation? How y'all doing tonight? Welcome back to another one. I'm Juby the Tubi. You're here with Family Above Everything, Straight Talk Sports New York. Hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are doing safe. Let's get right into it, baby. Like I said, previously opening up, the Knicks lose 125-109 behind none other than Joel Embiid and newly acquired 76er James Harden. Too much to handle. They were on another level tonight. I thought for a minute we were cutting it close and we are going to possibly win this game, but that wasn't the case. RJ Barrett, Mr. Broadway, showed again why he's still the man. And Evan Fournier, like I said, finally had a decent game, 24 points. But we all know what that's about. He'll have this one good game, and then he'll have a 12-point game or a 9-point game for the next 6 games. Emmanuel quickly finally came out of his shooting slump, played a tremendous game, but Tom Thibodeau up to his old ways, benching the youngsters. Cam Reddish was playing good. Obi Toppin was playing good. A love affair with Alex Burks, and we lose this game. Salute to you guys in Nick Nation. Let's get Zen Ray Sports TV in here. I apologize, I'm a little bit disorientated. It was family day today, but we're here, and let's get right to it. Zen Ray, can you hear me? Ooh, I think he got me muted. Give him a second. I don't hear him right now. He's probably doing his little intro, guys. Don't hear you, my brother.
I'm sorry. Once again, 18 turnovers. The Knicks lose to the Sixers, 125 to 109. Um, it's something that we should be concerned with these 18 turnovers and not hitting our free throws. Um, I don't know, Juby. I just want to apologize that I had my mic on for the first couple of minutes, and thanks to Juby's hindsight, I'm on now and you can hear me. So yes, so getting back to the game, Juby, Tom Thibodeau has this love affair with Burks that I don't understand, and it seems like when Cam Reddish was playing well and Obi was playing well with a few minutes, and you know that Burks doesn't have it. Why you continue playing Burks with those minutes? I mean, he played something like 35 minutes again this evening. I don't understand what's going on. I mean, Burks had 34 minutes, had 6 points, negative 19. Please explain to me what's going on with this love affair between Tibbs and Alex Burks.
Salute to you guys at ZRA Sports TV. Glad I was able to spot that, man. We didn't want to do a show without no mic. But yeah, man, listen. I said it before, guys, in the previous show. Tom Thibodeau invites Alex Burke over for dinner. Julius Randle, he cooks for them. He bakes for them because those guys can do no wrong. Like you said, these guys, Cam Reddish, Emmanuel quickly came out of his shooting slump. Finally, was playing great. Cam Reddish was playing great. Obi Toppin only 3 for 5, and they only still get 16 to 17 minutes a game. Where Alex Burks, like you said, was a negative. What was it? 19. You said it was, Zenry?
Negative 19, yes, sir.
Negative 19, and the guy still in there playing a whole bunch of minutes, and I just don't understand it. Luckily, like I said, we have R.J. Barrett to continue doing what he's been doing this season. That's a great positive sight that I see from him. Evan Fournier had his 1 in every 6 game, good game tonight. So he had 24 points. Good for him. Great game. But tomorrow or next game, he'll probably have 11 points. And then we'll go a couple of games like that with him. I thought we could have maybe pulled this one out of our hats and come away with it. But Tom Thibodeau, back to his old tricks, back to his old rotation, is stuck in his old ways, and this continues to be a problem. You can give that man LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, you can give him everybody, and he was still probably play Alex Burks. I don't know what his love affair with him is, like you said.
Yeah, I mean, look, Embiid had 37. Harden had his first triple-double as the Sixers beat the Knicks 125-109. I mean, look, when Harden is doing his thing, and it seems already that Embiid and Harden has this chemistry, but it seems toward the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, the Knicks started making a push with quickly off the bench with 21 points. But they wore down quickly so much that when he got to the end of the middle of the fourth quarter, he was just dead. And this is what I'm talking about. You bring Burks in when you could have bought Cam, you could have bought even our slung dunk champion and Obi Toppin to come in and do what, because they were playing very well, moving around, kind of cohesiveness, having some kind of chemistry with Barrett, Obi. This is what the Knicks lack. When you talk about, Fournier 1 game in, 5 back bad. This is a product of not having a point guard. We're going to go back to that again. And once again, no sighting of Deuce McBride. No sighting of Deuce McBride, a point guard that you dearly need. And you saw Burks was not effective at all this evening. Why wasn't McBride? What is McBride doing incorrectly? Look at Jericho Sims. He played very, very well tonight. He fouled out. Mitchell Robinson fouled out. You're playing against a beast in Embiid, and he had some defensive instances when he stopped Embiid a few times down low. Had a couple of block shots. Had 10 rebounds. For 18 minutes of play, this is something, a confidence booster, that when you play these young kids, they get game time experience. Why aren't you doing this with Deuce McBride? Juby, I'm still baffled by by this mystery of why Deuce is not playing, but he's on the bench. He's not playing. You have no point guard. Burks' love affair with Thibodeau. I don't understand it, Juby. This is something that if you're going to develop someone, like you're developing Jericho in the center position, why can't you do that with Deuce McBride?
I think that's the mystery that everybody wants to know. I think sports writers, I think analysis, I think everybody out there in Nick Nation is baffled because we see him in uniform, we see him ready to go, and he's not giving him the time of day. I mean, it just puzzles me because first quarter will come, second quarter will come, and then I'll say, all right, maybe he'll get in the third quarter, get a couple of minutes, and nothing whatsoever for Deuce McBride, who is lighting up the G League, who clearly shows you that he's talented. Does he have a couple of things that he needs to work on? Everybody does when they're that young. Nobody's as polished when they come out of the NBA draft. But in order for them to develop that, they need some playing time. They talk about gelling with the team needs to gel. How can they gel if you're not playing everybody together? If you're talking about going into the future with these young players, you need to have them play together. We need to see a Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett more. I don't know about you, but I have not seen that matchup. And really, in the last two games, either RJ Barrett is on the bench and Cam Reddish is on the floor, or vice versa. I don't know what Tom Thibodeau is doing. I will tell you this. It's going to get very, very old, very, very fast. Especially, I know me and you spoke in the last couple of shows, and we said, what can the Knicks do to get into this play-in? And we said 14 to 15 games. Listen, my friend, I will be happy if the Knicks win 10 games in this season left, because the way they're playing right now, I expect them to lose every game. They don't need to tank on purpose because they're just doing it to themselves. The coach is doing it to this team, not even the players. It's the coach.
Yeah, you look at Randall. Randall missed a lot of defensive assignments. People were getting free underneath the basket. Now, you're not making him like accountable for that. But if that was Obi Topping for any reason, he would be sitting on the bench. This is the accountability factor. Like, he turns away from Randall like he can't do no wrong. And that has to be fixed along the way. Because if I'm seeing it, you're seeing it, and Nick Nation is aware of that, you don't think the players on the bench is aware of this? Randall has to be accountable. Look, he played a so-so game, and he was trying to be a point forward, trying to bring the ball up. And you know what happens? The turnovers happen. The Knicks had 18 turnovers, okay? 18 turnovers, and they can't hit free throws. They missed 13 free throws. I think there was 60%. I'll get the numbers up. In fact, no. They were 62%, 22 out of 35. They were 33% from the 3-point range and 44% from the field. They got 21 assists while 76 had 28 assists. We had 18 turnovers, and they produced 22 points from that. You can't give points away like this. This is the back-to-back games where not only can't you shoot your free throws, and let me just tell you, with all the accolades that RJ is getting, his free throws have to be a lot to be desired. He missed 8 the night before, and he missed, I think, another. I don't have the stats in front of me, but I can look it up real quick. I think he missed. Barrett missed. Yeah, he missed 4 free throws. He was 60% from the field. You have to hit your free throws if you're going to be close in any game. And once again, second-hand chance points. Philadelphia they got the steals. That's the MO. Then you give them turnovers. They score points on that. And you still made it close at the end. But once again, hot potato, turning the ball over, not getting timely shots. You don't really have a superstar that can take over a game. Barrett is not that yet. Randall obviously has dropped from the earth of being that. So if we had a star that came in and is a quick bucket guy like Carmelo, a Ewing, a player of that caliber, Allen Houston, who come in and take over a game, we don't have that type of player. Look, I love the fact that we ran with Barrett. He was the first to go guy. He was running the offense in the beginning. I like that. This is the future of the Knicks. but you still need that star player to come in here and complement these other two players because team needs desperate baskets in the fourth, and they just dropped dead there. They only scored 20 points in that fourth quarter. Philly scored 34, and we had a slight, modest 3-point lead in the early of the fourth quarter when our engines was revving. Quickly was just bringing the team back. RJ was doing his thing, but it wasn't enough because of the turnovers and missing free throws, and that cost the Knicks game tonight. So it seems like a lot of Knick Nation, they've got the a la tank mode now because right now, you're right, Juby. I don't see them winning many games coming up. I think we have another 20 games left. I think if we win another 5-6 games, if I'm looking at the schedule, it'll be, that's a lot. So I can see us only having between 30 and 32 wins this year.
Yeah. And it's real sad, man. Listen, the problem with the Knicks, too, is they ran out of gas. Emmanuel Quickly and RJ Barrett were having such a great game and doing so much than they're supposed to that they just ran out of gas. And in that fourth quarter, they couldn't do anything. We've seen that in a bunch of games where they're great in the second quarter, third quarter, scoring a whole bunch of points. But in that fourth quarter, they can't buy a basket. They have no shot creator, really, besides RJ Barrett, with that exception. And they just ran out of gas. There's no explanation other than they're just tired. They're exhausted. They have no playmaker that can be in there. Derrick Rose, when he was in there, was so clutch last season because in that fourth quarter, he is a playmaker. Whether he draws the double team, whether he kicks it to Randall, or he gets the open shot, he takes it, misses it. He still creates. And that's what we're missing right now. Elfrid Payton did that same exact thing. The man could not shoot a light of day, but the man knew how to play defense. But the man knew how to basically tell everybody to get into their positions and get them the ball. We are lacking that this season. And for some reason, Tom Thibodeau still goes with Alex Burks, thinks he's going to Hail Mary this team back into the promised land and say, I told you so. We've spoken about it. It's spiraling down fast, bad. There's only so many games that I think we're gonna win. Like I said, if you called it, I think if we win 5 or 6 games for the rest of the season, it'll be a lot. And that's just based on what we've been seeing if the same thing continues to happen. Now, if lineup changes happen and we start seeing McBride and we see Cam Moore playing with RJ, then things can be a little bit different. But if you go with the same mentality day in, day night, give Alex Burke all these minutes and he doesn't produce anything really for you, and then like I said before, Julius Randle tries to play 5 positions in his head. It's just going to get the same exact thing. It's just going to get ugly, man. And eventually people... Listen, the fans in Madison Square Garden were cheering for the Sixers. And my brother, who has not watched a game in about 3 weeks, because he's sick of it, told me, because he was sitting right next to me, he was like, yo, why are they cheering for the Sixers? Are they actually rooting for the Sixers? Or are they being sarcastic to Knicks management and Knicks players that they're so bad that they're cheering?
Jerseys all over the place. Sixers jerseys all over the place. I couldn't believe it.
And that's just what it is. And I just told him the Knicks are so bad that the fans are just saying, you know what? The hell with it. They're selling their tickets. They don't want to come. You got people from Philly coming down here wanting to root for. They want to see James Harden play. They want to see Joel Embiid play. And why not? They're a great team to watch. A lot of fun. Share the basketball. Everything that we want the Knicks to be.
Listen, very well said, Juby. The fans are not showing up. They're tired of this garbage. I saw Spike Lee in the beginning, starting before the game started. He looked like he was at a funeral, just like waiting for something to die. And the Knicks are starting to stink it up, and that's the stench from, I'm sorry to say, from a person who's just passed away. God rest. My condolences, but look, if you look at point guard situation, when you have Brooks, okay, only with 6 points, and he had 0 assists, then you bring Quickly. He had 1 assist. So Quickly's a shooter. He was hot today. He is a bucket getter. When he's open, he's a spot shooter. Scored 21 points. Fine. Who is the guy who's getting Fournier and these guys involved. So I understand when we get frustrated on Fournier, get frustrated with Barrett. Barrett is doing something no other Nick is doing. He's attacking the basketball. He's going downhill and he's attacking the basket, and that's why he's been successful. He's only 21 years of age. Wait.
Right. That's
Wait,
right.
Nick Nation. Wait. Next year and the following year, 2 years from now, this guy's going to be an all-star, if not by next year. So we just have to get better players around him, starting with a point guard. So if we have to go to Dallas and pick up this player, the point guard, Brunson, if you have to get him in here, bring him in, because he reminds me a lot of the Toronto Raptors point guard, stabilizes his team. And if he's a type of player that if he can get his, and Luka Doncic scores most of the points there, and he still can get his 15, 20 points, and he still distributes anywhere between 7 to 10 assists a game, he's doing something right. The Knicks can use a leader and a general. We spoke about this so many times. I don't know how many shows, you and Juby. This is a ship with no course. It's just out in sea, and there is no guidance. There's no captain. There's no general. There's no guidance to guide this team. And the only guiding force that Thibodeau hopes is Alex Burks. You figure that one out.
Yeah, he has Alex Burke. He has Julius Randle driving, whatever you want to call it. He's managing the whole ship, and he has Alex Burks up on top with a telescope looking for the land. And then you have every other player down below rowing the boat in different directions. That's exactly what's happening right now. Nobody's in sync. Nobody is together. It's sad. Let me just say, I bust the Knicks chops a lot. You guys know I love the Knicks, man. I'm diehard Knicks fan. I can't tell you. I would still, right now, being bad, would love to go to the Garden and see them play and curse Tom Thibodeau out and give him a piece of my mind. That's for sure. I would sit there and tell him that he needs to put in Miles McBride in there. But you know what? It's like I said, until management gets it together, until they sit there and say, listen, is Tom Thibodeau going to change his ways? Because like I said, we're going to get Brunson next season. Okay, that's great. We get a point guard in here and maybe things get better. But what happens if we get Brunson and we still have Fournier and we still have Barrett and we still have the same team that we have just with the including of Brunson? Does that really, really change our team?
I think so. You just need a general. You need a leader that can run, could run and ride the ship. We don't have that, Juby.
Yeah, but you got the king, which is Tom Thibodeau, who's managing and telling the players what to do and when to shoot, and you better not do this. Not using his mouth saying that, but his actions are speaking. If you do this, guess what? You're gonna sit down. So everybody, I said it before, everybody's playing on pins and needles. Nobody is having a good time except RJ Barrett. If you watch the players when they're in there, I mean, today I'm not even going to speak about, because I'm going to be honest with you guys. I saw a lot of the game, but I didn't watch every single minute. But last couple of games that I've watched, like I've told you guys before, Obi Toppin, I've seen this guy play in college. I've seen highlights of him. I seen him last year when he came in. Spurs of the moments when he was driving the ball to the basket, had his back to the... You don't see that this season. Why? Because they're playing timid. Because they want to play so bad that they want to do whatever the coaches want. And that's how you limit these players, and they don't reach the plateau that they need to go. RJ Barrett is the only one who said, you know what? You want Julius Randle to be the man? Well, guess what? I'm going to show you that I'm the man. And it just happened to work for him. Everybody else is playing timid, scared, and to be honest with you, it's not good for young players. They're going to get tired of it. They're going to lose respect for him eventually, because it's happened to well-established coaches in the NBA where the young players have no respect, and they basically tuning out. They're not going to curse the coach out. They're not, but they're going to tune him out, and then you're going to see it on the floor.
Yeah, look, at this juncture, I think that may happen. I don't think it has happened yet, because a lot of players are playing hard. It's just that Thibodeau is not putting them in places where they can succeed. We spoke about that in yesterday's show. You have to put your players in the best position where they can succeed. And by not having a point guard, that causes a lot of headaches We play again the Sixers again Wednesday at Philadelphia. Let's see if we can research something from there. And let me just say something about Fournier. Fournier, if you get him a point guard and you get everybody positioned right now we need a general. Okay, if it's Brunson or if it's whoever that may be, because right now it seems like he doesn't want to play Deuce McBride. I don't know. Jericho Sims is learning on the fly, as I mentioned. Why can't Deuce McBride? You have nothing to lose. You're losing with your boy Burks. He's not doing anything. You might as well, if you're gonna lose with the young kids as they learning on the fly. I don't understand it. Practice is one thing. Game time play makes a big difference in your confidence and how we can view you as a player if you're going to be sticking around in New York. And I think Deuce McBride has that. He's a point guard. We have no point guard. We had a total of 2 assists tonight between Burks with 6 points and Quickly, who had 21 points, but he's a spot-up shooter, and he had another assist. Or he had 2 assists or something like that. It's ridiculous when you have no general driving the ship or this captain riding the ship. We're out in floating sea, and the Sharks are coming after us.
Yeah. Listen, like I said, we drive to Philly. Are there going to be a lot of Knicks fans there? I doubt it. It's going to be a full pack house of Joel Embiid and James Harden fans, and just waiting to come at the Knick Nation's throats. And I'm hoping that a different outcome comes. I'm hoping that from now to then, maybe they give McBride at least. Even I'll be happy with 8 minutes. The minutes that Obi Toppin was getting before. I don't think that's enough, but I would sit there and say, you know what? At least he gave him 7-8 minutes tonight, and we're seeing 7-8 minutes every single night. But to give that man what did he get? 2 minutes last game. You don't even see it. You put him with crazy.
Yeah, nothing. 2 minutes is nothing. You can't showcase anything in 2 minutes. He took a shot. I think 1 assist, and he took him out right away. Right now, if you look at Cam and Toppings, Cam has 17 minutes. Topping has 16. They should have been there toward the end of the game. Burks wasn't doing anything. If you take those 34 minutes and you take 20 minutes from that and you just give him 14 and you split up those other minutes between Topping and Reddish toward the end of the game, you see Cam Reddish, he's so fluid. He is so, athletic. This is the type of play that we need. And you see some chemistry with him and Barrett. You were saying before they don't playing a lot of minutes together. They play some minutes together. They're not playing enough. I agree with you. Yeah. But they're playing some minutes together. And when they do play together, they have the old days Duke chemistry. Thing comes up to fruition next year. This will be an exciting team to watch. But right now, we have no point guard. That's our main concern. And until the Knicks don't resolve this, the Knicks are going nowhere.
Yeah. Listen, you nailed it. Nerlens Noel didn't play again tonight. Mitchell Robinson had a mediocre game. Big men's, Joel Embiid was just too much. Let's just face the fact. The guy's a beast. The guy's an all-star, proven big man. With the addition of James Harden, and not to mention that Tobias Harris didn't even play tonight. I didn't see him out there. So
he played.
I didn't even see him, to be honest. What did he score?
Tobias Harris scored 12 points. He was a plus 25 at 1 block, 5 rebounds. He had he was 4 for 4 from the free throw, 2 for 3 from the 3-point range, 3 for 9 from the field. He played 35 minutes. Now, he played collectively together, obviously. He's that power forward of the team. So he played very, very well there. Because when you have Embiid scoring 37, you have Maxey scoring 21, and then you have Harden scoring 29, his first triple-double in his Sixer uniform. You don't need that much. You don't need a bench. The problem with the Knicks is bench and no bench. If you don't have a point guard and you have one sitting down and Deuce McBride, you have this love affair with Burks, there is an issue in Tom Thibodeau land. And then you have no accountability for Julius Randle. He can't even cover guys, leaving guys wide open, not covering his man. If that was Obi Toppin, as mentioned before, he'll be benched and probably get less minutes. So the team sees this. If Knicks Nation sees this, if you see it, if I see it, that there's no accountability for Julius Randle, then the team sees it, Knicks Nation sees it, there's a problem. And I can see a new coach, a young, evasive coach who can create and put these players in a situation where they can succeed. Thibodeau has the same formula by bringing these lineups of Fournier and Burks and Burks is not a point guard. Quickly just spot up shooter. Burks is a 10-minute man who played in so many years in this league, and he never got more than 15 minutes, only if he was hot and stuff like that. But we're using him starting minutes. That tells you how bad the Knicks team is when you're using a Burks as a main starter. 35 minutes, 6 points, no assist. It's embarrassing. Knick Nation has to get this organized. Tank time is here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what else you want to say, Juby.
You pinned it, man. There's a reason Alex Burke was never a starter really nowhere else, and nobody us as Knicks fans. This is what I'm gonna say to you guys. We tend to hold all of our players higher than what their value is, and it just comes to show you that come trading deadline, nobody wanted Alex Burks. We couldn't even get a second-round pick for him. Don't listen to that. The Knicks didn't want to trade him. The Knicks were trying to trade. The Knicks wanted to just attach Kemba Walker to that Alex Burks move, and teams were not interested. They were saying, wait a minute, Alex Burks is not even that good, and you're trying to give us this contract of a man who's... So, listen.
I'm glad you mentioned.
It's crazy.
I'm glad you mentioned Kemba Walker, and I mean to cut you off. Because Burks was supposed to be put in because of his defense. That's the reason you can see why he's playing. His defense was a la Kemba Walker. Toast. People were going back by him. Harden, Maxey were going by him like he was non-existent on the floor. So it tells you he's there for your defense. He's there as your point guard. He's doing neither. And that's why Cam Reddish and that's why Obi Toppin should have been playing more in that fourth quarter. And maybe you would have had a chance of winning that game with these young kids. You're losing anyway. Play the young kids, Knick Nation. Knick Nation, Tom Thibodeau, Knick organization, management. Play the young kids. You're losing anyway. Let's see what you have in these young kids so you can set up a foundation coming up next year.
You heard it here, ladies and gentlemen. Zen Ray said it best. Play the kids. Free the kids. We got nothing else to lose. The season is pretty much painted in black and white. Just play the young kids. Free the kids, man.
I agree. Juby, I don't know what else you have to say. We'll meet up again on Wednesday after the game. We'll do a post-game show as of then. With that said, New Yorkers, Knick Nation, New York, never give up, knowing that the best is yet to come, as long as you have love, peace, and gratitude. Juby, Zenray out. Thank you for coming on. I don't know if you have any last words for our audience before we depart.
Go New York, go. That's all I can say, guys. Peace, man.
Here we go. Take care.
Later,
have a good
brother.
night.
Good night, brother.
Good night.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Zen Ray from Zen Ray Sports TV. Listen, you hear it with true Knicks fans, frustrated with coaching, with rotations, without lack of point guard. Will things change? Only time will tell. Be safe out there. Enjoy your time with your family. Remember, you don't have to be blood to be family. And as always, family above everything. Good night, guys. Peace.
We are the New York Knicks. 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 Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. Say go New York, go New York, go. Go New York, go New York, go. We're back on track, here we come. League is something 21 and the Knicks are on a run. And I'll tell you with Tibbs, we have been too much to handle. With Barrett, Bullock, Burke, and Randall, it's the Knicks, and we're taking back our place. Everyone's gearing up with a mask on their face. The guards going crazy, and they're doing it for a reason. 21 is the Knickerbocker season. You better believe the Knicks got all that it takes. We're shooting 3-pointers, and we're running fast breaks. And if your defense makes a mistake, then BAM! Robbie dunks in your face. This is a team you don't wanna miss. We are New York. We are the New York Knicks. Go New York, go New York, go! Busted, all you hear is a switch with drives by Rose and quick with the dish, and no rebounds if that's the case. We put Nerlens and Taj in your face. We got a lead that'll give you fits. We are New York. We are the New York Knicks. Go New York.